Gentlemen, let me ask you something. What if the real key to reigniting your manhood, restoring your confidence, and bringing back the power you thought had faded forever wasn't locked away in a prescription bottle, wasn't hidden behind the counter at a pharmacy, but was instead sitting quietly in your very own kitchen? It sounds unbelievable, right? But stay with me, because once you hear this, you may never look at something as ordinary as a kitchen ingredient the same way again. Imagine this, a simple white powder. You've likely used all your life for cleaning, for cooking, maybe even for freshening up your refrigerator, actually holding the potential to spark transformations inside your body that modern medicine often overlooks. I'm talking about plain old baking soda. Yes, the same baking soda you've probably sprinkled into recipes or used to scrub a stubborn pan. But here's the twist. When combined with the right natural partners, this humble powder can do more than bubble in a glass of water. It can ignite real change, immediate change that some men notice in as little as 20 minutes. Now, before you think this is just another gimmick or too good to be true, let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Moit Kara. I'm a professor of urology and men's health. And for over 30 years, I've dedicated my career to helping men, especially men over 60, restore their vitality, protect their prostate, and reclaim the intimacy and confidence they thought had slipped away forever. I've seen it all. Men walk into my office with shoulders slumped, eyes down, convinced their best days are behind them. And I've watched those same men walk out with renewed energy, strength, and a sense of pride they thought was gone. And the secret, it wasn't expensive drugs. It wasn't risky procedures. More often than not, it was simple, natural solutions that actually work. Here's the shocking paradox. Millions of men are spending fortunes every single month chasing bottled promises, pills, supplements, and prescriptions that often deliver little more than disappointment. Yet the truth is, one of the most overlooked tools for boosting circulation, enhancing stamina, and promoting firmer, stronger erections is sitting right there in your pantry. Baking soda. Ordinary, familiar, unremarkable until you combine it with the right natural allies. Then it becomes something far greater, a catalyst, a trigger, a way to unlock your body's potential without relying on artificial chemistry. And that's why I'm here today. Because I don't want you chasing dead ends. I want to show you something extraordinary. 5 specific formulas, 5 simple mixtures you can create in your very own kitchen. Each one is safe, effective, and designed to spark noticeable change in how your body performs. These aren't tricks, they aren't empty promises. They are combinations grounded in science and tested by experience. And the best part? I'm going to guide you through each one step by step. You'll learn not only what to mix, but why it works and how it can make a difference for you. In fact, one of these formulas is so potent that many men feel a surge of energy and firmness in less than half an hour. Imagine that, rediscovering a part of yourself you thought was gone within the time it takes to watch a single episode of your favorite show. So let me ask you, wouldn't you want to know how? But before we dive into the formulas, let me say this. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Every week, I share natural health strategies specifically designed for men over 60, strategies that can help you feel stronger, healthier, and more alive without risky shortcuts. And if you find this video helpful, type A1 in the comments. If not, type A0, because your feedback shapes the content I create for you. Alright, let's begin with the very first formula. And I promise it may surprise you with its simplicity, because all it takes is baking soda plus fresh lemon juice. That's right, 2 of the most ordinary items you could ever imagine when combined create a natural booster that balances your body's acidity, clears your blood vessels, and supports stronger, healthier erections. And it can do all that in minutes. Let me share a story. Years ago, a patient of mine named Richard, in his late 60s, sat across from me in disbelief. I explained the power of lemon juice mixed with baking soda, and he leaned forward, eyes wide, and asked, "Doctor, are you really telling me that something as simple as lemon juice and baking soda could help me?" Down there, I smiled, because I knew exactly what was going through his mind. Doubt, hesitation, that little voice that whispers, "It can't be that easy. Life doesn't work like that." But sometimes it does. Sometimes, the most powerful solutions aren't locked in laboratories. They're sitting right in front of us, waiting to be rediscovered. When baking soda and lemon juice meet, you see a little fizz in your glass. But what you can't see is the reaction happening inside your body. It's neutralizing the excess acidity that silently builds as we age. High acidity inflames blood vessels, narrowing them, making circulation sluggish. And here's the truth. Every man needs to remember, erections are all about blood flow. If circulation slows, so does performance. But when blood flows freely, the body responds with strength and firmness that can surprise even you. Now add lemon juice to the mix. Lemons are loaded with vitamin C and antioxidants, both crucial for protecting arteries and keeping them flexible. They also stimulate nitric oxide, a molecule your body desperately relies on to relax and open blood vessels. In simple terms, nitric oxide is nature's way of saying, "Let the blood flow." By combining lemon juice with baking soda, you're not only balancing your body's chemistry or giving your circulation a natural push, opening the highways of your bloodstream and letting energy surge where it matters most. And the result? For many men, it can be felt within just half an hour. Richard was one of them. He called me a week later, his voice bursting with excitement. "Doc, I tried the baking soda and lemon water, just like you said. My wife couldn't believe the difference. I felt lighter, more alive, more like the man I used to be." That wasn't a medical journal talking. That was a real man rediscovering his vitality, his confidence, his connection with his partner. So how do you try it yourself? It couldn't be simpler. Take half a teaspoon of baking soda, stir it into a glass of warm water, then squeeze in the juice of half a fresh lemon. Drink it about 30 minutes before intimacy. Pay attention to how your body responds, not just physically, but emotionally. Because often, the biggest boost isn't just in blood flow, but in the confidence of knowing you're taking control naturally, without pills or chemicals. Here's the exciting part. This is only the beginning. Lemon and baking soda is just the first step. When you start combining baking soda with other natural partners, the effects can grow stronger, longer lasting, and more transformative. In fact, the next formula I'll share has been called nature's nitric oxide powerhouse. It has the potential to supercharge your circulation in ways you may have never thought possible, so stay with me, because Formula 2 might just surprise you even more than Formula 1. Formula 2. Baking soda plus beetroot juice. There's something almost magical about beets. Most men I've spoken with over the years barely give them a second thought. Too many, they're nothing more than a forgotten vegetable, tucked away on the edge of the dinner plate or left behind at salad bars. But beneath their rough skin and striking crimson color lies a power few ever imagine. I remember the first time I recommended beet juice to a patient of mine, a retired school teacher named Michael. When I mentioned it, he chuckled softly and said, "Doc, I haven't touched a beet since my mother forced me to eat them as a kid." The thought alone seemed to carry him back decades. To a kitchen table where he pushed those bright red slices around his plate, dreading every bite. But when I explained what those deep red roots could actually do, how they could improve his blood flow, recharge his stamina, and rekindle the vitality he feared was gone, his eyes shifted, the chuckle faded. Suddenly, he leaned in, genuinely curious. And when Michael finally tried it, he didn't just taste the difference, he felt it. Days later, he called me, his voice filled with a mixture of disbelief and gratitude. "I can't believe it," he told me. "My body responded like I was 20 years younger." That kind of reaction never gets old. Every time I hear it, it reminds me of one simple truth. Nature, when given the chance, has a way of surprising us. Sometimes the remedies we overlook are the very ones capable of restoring what we thought we had lost. Why is beetroot so powerful? The answer lies in something called nitrates. Beets are naturally packed with them. When your body processes these nitrates, they transform into nitric oxide, a tiny but vital molecule your arteries depend on. Nitric oxide relaxes and expands your blood vessels, allowing blood to surge freely where it's needed most. And remember this, an erection is nothing more than a precisely timed flood of blood into the right chambers. The stronger and freer that flow, the stronger the response. Without healthy circulation, the system falters. With it, everything changes. Now, when you combine beet juice with baking soda, something remarkable happens. Baking soda helps balance acidity in your body, a hidden enemy that can silently restrict your vessels. Think of it like this. It's one thing to open a pipe, but another to make sure nothing is clogging it. Baking soda clears the way, beet juice provides the surge. Together, they create a dynamic partnership, like unclogging a drain and then turning the faucet full blast. I'll never forget the way Michael described his first evening after drinking this mixture before spending time with his wife. His voice carried a smile I could hear over the phone. "Doc," he said. She looked at me like she hadn't in years. I didn't feel like an old man anymore. I felt alive. That word alive stuck with me, because too often, men over 60 begin to feel invisible, disconnected, resigned to decline. They believe the flame has gone out for good, but it doesn't have to be that way. Sometimes all it takes is a simple glass of beet juice mixed with half a teaspoon of baking soda to flip the switch to remind the body. And the spirit, that strength and desire are still there, waiting to be unlocked. So how do you prepare it? It's refreshingly simple. Take one medium-sized beet, juice it or blend it until it becomes a smooth, vibrant liquid. Stir in half a teaspoon of baking soda. Drink it about an hour before intimacy. What happens next is often more than physical. For many men, their cheeks regain color, their energy feels steadier, and their confidence begins to rise again. And let me tell you, that confidence is just as powerful as the biology itself. Because when you believe in your body, when you trust that it can perform, you carry yourself differently, not only in intimacy, but in every area of life. That's why I love sharing this formula. It's a reminder that strength isn't gone. It's simply waiting to be reawakened. And here's what excites me even more. Beet juice is only one of the many natural partners that supercharge baking soda's effects. The next formula might surprise you even more because it combines a soothing bedtime drink with a hidden secret for relaxation, stamina, and passion all at once. If you thought beetroot was impressive, just wait until you hear what happens when baking soda meets warm milk and honey. Formula 3. Baking soda plus warm milk and honey. When most people think of warm milk, they picture a childhood remedy for sleeps, something their mother or grandmother might have handed them before bed to help them drift off peacefully. But when you blend warm milk with honey and just a touch of baking soda, it becomes far more than a bedtime drink. It turns into a soothing, nourishing tonic that restores balance to both body and mind. I remember one evening when a gentleman named Thomas Bake, 72 years old and recently widowed, came to see me. His face carried not only the lines of age, but also the weight of years of disappointment in his own body. As he sat across from me, his voice softened. He admitted quietly, "Doc, I don't just want energy for intimacy. I want to feel calm again, like I can actually enjoy the moment instead of worrying." That confession struck me deeply. It reminded me that male performance isn't just about the mechanics of circulation. It's about something much deeper. Peace of mind that allows you to be present, to relax, and to enjoy closeness without fear or tension. That's why I love this formula so much. It's gentle, familiar, yet surprisingly powerful. Let's break it down. Milk provides protein and calcium, vital nutrients not only for keeping bones strong, but also for supporting steady nerve and muscle function. Honey adds natural sweetness and a quick burst of energy, giving the body a subtle spark right when it's needed most. And baking soda, though simple, plays a crucial role by easing digestion and reducing the internal stress caused by acidity stress that can quietly undermine performance. Together, these three ingredients create something more than the sum of their parts. They form a balance of relaxation and vitality, a drink that calms the nervous system while gently preparing the body for intimacy. Thomas decided to try it. One evening, he warmed a glass of milk, stirred in a teaspoon of honey, added a small pinch of baking soda, and sipped it slowly before bed. The next morning, he called me. His voice was brighter, lighter, filled with a sense of relief. "Doc," he said, "for the first time in years, I wasn't tense. I wasn't overthinking. I just enjoyed being with her, and everything worked." That story has stayed with me, because it proves something we often overlook. Sometimes the missing ingredient isn't another stimulant or a stronger pill. Sometimes it's simply finding a way to quiet the mind while gently energizing the body. As men age, stress often becomes a silent enemy. Anxiety, fear of failure, the constant worry about whether the body will respond, these thoughts can shut things down faster than any physical condition. But when you drink something warm and comforting like this, it does more than nourish your body. It creates a ritual, a signal to both mind and body. Tonight you are safe. Tonight you can let go. And in that letting go, strength often returns naturally. So, if you've ever found yourself lying awake before intimacy, tense and restless, or if you've ever wished for a way to enter the moment with calm assurance, this formula might be exactly what you need, because sometimes what unlocks passion isn't fire, it's peace. And once that peace is there, desire and strength can rise again with surprising ease. But here's where it gets even more interesting. While milk and honey soothe and relax, the next formula adds fire. It introduces a natural spice that not only warms the body, but also stirs circulation in ways that can surprise even the healthiest of men. Stay with me, because when baking soda meets ginger tea, the results can feel like igniting a spark that's been waiting to come alive. After discovering how a warm and calming drink like milk, honey, and baking soda can soothe the body and ease the mind, we now step into something very different, something that sparks fire instead of quiet. And that's where Formula 4, baking soda plus ginger tea comes in. There is something truly remarkable about ginger. For centuries, it has been celebrated in traditional medicine, and over the years, I have witnessed firsthand how this simple root has transformed the lives of men who once believed their best days were long behind them. One story that stays with me is about a man named Daniel. He was 68 years old, and not long before he came to see me, he had experienced a mild heart scare. That incident had left him shaken and deeply cautious. He walked into my office carrying not only his medical concerns, but also the quiet despair of someone who felt his own body had turned against him. Sitting down, he admitted, almost in a whisper, "Doc, I feel like my body is betraying me. I'm afraid to try anything risky, but I also don't want to give up." That confession carried both fear and hope. Daniel wasn't ready to surrender, but he also couldn't risk strong medications or harsh stimulants. That's when I told him about ginger, a natural stimulant, long known for its ability to boost circulation safely and effectively. And when ginger is paired with a small amount of baking soda, it creates a surprisingly powerful formula, one that not only wakes up the body, but also steadies it. At first, Daniel's expression was skeptical. He looked at me as if wondering how a humble root could possibly make a difference. Still, he agreed to give it a try, and when he returned a week later, the smile on his face said more than words ever could. The truth is, ginger is one of nature's greatest gifts to men's health. What makes it so effective is its ability to gently dilate blood vessels, allowing more oxygen and vital nutrients to circulate freely throughout the body. And yes, this includes the most important tissues for intimacy. Baking soda, on the other hand, works quietly in the background. By reducing stomach acidity, it ensures that you can enjoy ginger in larger, more effective amounts without discomfort or irritation. Together, these two simple ingredients form a kind of natural synergy, one that supports both cardiovascular health and sexual vitality at the same time. That combination is rare for men in their 60s or 70s who are cautious yet still long to feel alive. This formula offers a safe and reliable path forward. Daniel later described his experience in words that captured the essence perfectly. He said it felt like fire and calm, all in one. After drinking the tea, he noticed a warmth spreading through his body, not just in his chest, but flowing all the way down to where it mattered most. Yet unlike a chemical stimulant, it didn't make him feel anxious or shaky. Instead, he felt steady, focused, and quietly confident. And that balance, that blend of strength and composure, is exactly what so many older men truly need. Not a jolt of energy that fades too quickly and leaves them drained, but a steady flame that restores confidence and sustains desire. And here's the best part. Preparing this formula is simple, but it becomes even more powerful when done with intention. All you need is a few fresh slices of ginger root. Place them in hot water and let them simmer for several minutes until the fragrance fills the air. Then pour the tea into your cup, stir in half a teaspoon of baking soda, and sip slowly. Let the warmth move through you, one swallow at a time. Active preparation itself is part of the medicine. It's not just about what enters your body, it's also about the pause, the ritual, the mindful moment where you prepare both body and mind for connection. By the time you finish the last sip, your system is already shifting into a more open, energized, and receptive state. And yet, as powerful as ginger tea with baking soda can be, I must tell you it's not the final word, because the last formula I want to share with you might just be the crown jewel of them all. It combines baking soda with one of nature's most powerful fruits for male vitality, a fruit praised for centuries, and now backed by modern science, as a true performance enhancer. Stay with me, because when I reveal what happens when baking soda meets pomegranate juice, you'll understand why so many men refer to it as nature's own alternative to the little blue pill. Formula 5. Baking soda plus pomegranate juice. Never forget a quiet afternoon when a patient named George, 70-year-old gentleman, came into my office. His eyes carried a weight of sadness, and his words revealed something even deeper. He said he felt like only a shadow of the man he once was. The spark in his marriage, the passion he once took for granted, seemed to have slowly faded away. And worst of all, he feared it might be gone forever. In that moment, I reached for a glass of deep red pomegranate juice. Its color alone carries a sense of life and richness. I mixed in half a teaspoon of baking soda, gently stirred, and handed it to him. George, I said, just give this a chance. At first, his doubtful expression told me he wasn't convinced. After all, how could something so simple hold the answer to such a painful struggle? But just 1 week later, George returned to my office and the transformation was unmistakable. His shoulders were lifted, his eyes brighter, his whole presence more alive. The words he shared with me still echo in my memory. Doc, I feel like I got my manhood back. Why is this formula so powerful? The answer lies in the remarkable properties of pomegranate. For centuries, this fruit has been celebrated as one of the greatest natural gifts for men's health. Packed with potent antioxidants, pomegranate protects the blood vessels, keeping them flexible, strong, and resilient. And as any man knows, healthy blood vessels are the very foundation of strong, reliable erections. When you bring baking soda into the picture, the benefits multiply. Baking soda works at a cellular level, improving oxygen delivery throughout the body and helping to sustain stamina in a way that no pill can truly replicate. This is not about a fleeting boost or a short-lived spark. Instead, it provides deeper, longer-lasting support for both performance and vitality. Even the act of preparing this drink feels special. Pour yourself a glass of pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice, stir in half a teaspoon of baking soda, and take it about 45 minutes before intimacy. The tart sweetness of the juice, mixed with the gentle fizz of baking soda, creates more than just a refreshing flavor. It creates anticipation, a sense that something powerful is beginning to awaken inside you. And it's not just the body that changes. Many men tell me that they feel different on the inside too. More confident, more grounded, more connected to themselves, to life, and to their partners. That kind of inner shift is just as important as the physical results. George himself later shared that his wife noticed the difference almost immediately. But it wasn't just about firmness, it was about his energy, his presence, his passion returning. The man she had loved for decades seemed to come alive again. That is what makes this formula so extraordinary. It doesn't simply restores closeness, pride, and the bond that every man deserves to enjoy, no matter his age. Now, having walked you through all 5 of these remarkable formulas, I want to leave you with one last thought. These are not magic tricks. They are not empty promises. They are simple, natural tools, powerful gifts that are likely already within your reach, waiting in your own kitchen. But what truly matters is how you choose to use them. because in the conclusion that follows, I'll explain why even these small steps like mixing baking soda with nature's finest ingredients can become a turning point. A point where you reclaim your vitality, your strength, and your confidence to live fully again. Gentlemen, we've now explored 5 powerful formulas: lemon juice to clear your vessels, beetroot juice to supercharge circulation, warm milk and honey to calm yet energize. Ginger tea to ignite a steady flame, and finally, pomegranate juice to restore pride and passion. Each one offers a safe, natural path to better blood flow, stronger confidence, and renewed intimacy without relying on risky pills. Remember this: your age does not define your vitality. With small, consistent steps, you can rebuild strength, revive closeness, and prove to yourself that your best days are not behind you, they are still ahead. We've now journeyed through all 5 formulas, each one a simple yet powerful way to support vitality using nothing more than baking soda paired with nature's own gifts. Lemon juice to clear and refresh your blood vessels, beetroot juice to supercharge circulation, warm milk and honey to calm the body while fueling inner strength, ginger tea to spark steady fire without anxiety, and finally, pomegranate juice to bring back pride, passion, and closeness. But here's the truth: these are not magic tricks. They are not quick fixes that fade as soon as the effect wears off. Instead, they are natural tools, gentle yet powerful, to support your body, your heart, and your confidence in a way that pills simply can't replicate. What truly makes the difference is not just knowing about them, but choosing to act on them. Because every sip, every small change, is a signal you send to your body: I'm not giving up. I'm investing in myself. Think about it: how many men have convinced themselves that their best days are behind them, that intimacy, energy, and strength belong only to the past. The truth is, it doesn't have to be that way. Your body still has remarkable capacity to heal, to awaken, and to respond when you give it the right support. And sometimes, the greatest transformations begin not with a dramatic leap, but with the smallest of steps, like mixing a teaspoon of baking soda into a glass of juice. These formulas are more than recipes. They are rituals, simple, mindful practices that not only nourish your body but also prepare your mind. They remind you that health is not about desperation, it's about consistency, presence, and intention. And as countless men have discovered, the reward is not only stronger performance, but also deeper confidence, renewed energy, and a closer bond with the person you love. So, gentlemen, let this be your reminder: age does not define vitality. You have more control over your future than you may think. By choosing to take these natural, accessible steps, you can reclaim strength, rebuild connection, and prove to yourself that your best days aren't just behind you, they are still ahead. Now, the choice is yours. Will you let time quietly steal your spark, or will you take action, starting today, with the simple tools already within your reach? Because sometimes, the difference between fading away and feeling fully alive again is just one small step.